3 moms. Well, which one is the real mom? Oh, they all the real moms. This is my other mom, Renetta Waller, the real mom. Her Birdie. We still call her Birdie. This is my oldest daughter, Kahana, and my baby girl, Charity. She's not shy. Let her fool you. This is my baby girl, Charity. Y'all go ahead.
I'm Birdie. Half the family doesn't know my real name because my name I'm just Birdie. And when I was a baby, I was born probably around 10 pounds. I was huge and I just looked like a just little fat little thing. And first it started off that I was Big Bertha. And I was 2. She said, oh, she's Big Bertha. She's huge. And so then it just translated to Birdie because I looked like a fat bird or whatever. And my dad got so mad. He was like, that's not her name. That's not her name. And she was like, her name is Birdie. Her name is Birdie. And she kept saying it. And to this day, my daddy calls me Birdie. He calls me Big Bird, Birdie, everything except Liana. And I will always remember her because that. And she would always say, bird the word, what's up, bird? Anything related to me being Birdie. And whenever she would come over, she would cook so much food. And my mom would get so mad because she would use every pan in the house. And she would leave it in the sink for my mom to clean up. And she would make the best mashed potatoes, pork chops, everything. She would just cook for no reason. She would just cook. And we would just be right up in the kitchen, like, what you making next? And she'd be like, yeah, I got these mashed potatoes. She introduced me to putting ranch in my mashed potatoes.
I still do that.
And I still do it to this day. And one more story. She lived with us at one point, and my mom would not let her smoke in the house. And I was like, basically the only rule, don't smoke in the house. So she thinking that she was getting away with something, she was smoking our bathroom while we were at school and then spray air freshener. So all of a sudden our bathroom smells crazy. And then my mom would be like, did you smoke? No, I don't know what's wrong with this. I don't know why your bathroom smells like that. But she was smoking every day. And then when she knew we were coming home from school, then she would go out to the porch and act like she was out there all day long. Oh, yeah. And she ended up burning a hole in the mattress. She wasn't smoking inside.
Not the bathroom, so she went to smoke in her room.
Right.
And ended up falling asleep with a cigarette in her hand. It burned her mattress. She's never smoked in the house.
Right. She never smoked in the house, ever.
Love you dearly, but one thing that I remember about Auntie Sue and my mom was that Auntie Sue was always, like we've all been saying already, the funny one. And my mom, the serious one. She was always so serious about everything. And I remember Grandma was there, and I don't know whose house we were at, and we went to the basement, and they got into a fight over maybe Auntie Sue picking at my mom's hair or something like that, something silly. And all of a sudden it turned into a fist fight. They were running I was like, and everybody just laughing, and we were laughing. I thought I'm 14. Wait, hold on, this is not supposed to happen. And at the end of it, my mom's all upset, and Auntie Sue just sitting there like, I thought we were just having fun.
And then she come in the kitchen and start cooking. So we will miss Auntie Sue. She's just, every time we think about her, we laugh. And that's just the presence that she had. That was her gift to us. Laughter and just being happy. And just not being so serious or upset. And even when we would get mad at each other, I mean, with Sue around, you couldn't do it for long because she's going to stalk you. She's going to stalk your Facebook. She's gonna call you a bajillion times. Because, I mean, that was just Sue. And we're gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss her stalking my Facebook.
Here, the second part of Tara in here. My sister's in Italy, and she does send her condolences. There are so many stories that I have about Sue that I can't even pick one. So I'm just going to piggyback on a lot of the things that the girls were saying, namely the nickname. And when my daughter Caitlin was born, we would pretend that we had, you know, another name for her, and we'd call her Bonquisha. So when Sue came up and she saw her, she called her Quee. And we would call her Quee all the time. She'd call me, she'd say, how's Quee doing? And, you know, we always thought you guys had an accent, you know. But she absolutely loved Caitlin to death. And she came up one Labor Day, and she took her out to the beach and everything. I'm sorry. And that was the last time we got to see her. So I was really glad that we got a chance to see her and everything, and she was just doing so well, and she was so happy. And she was talking about going to school, and, you know, just really, Sue always inspired people to just keep on doing and keep on trying and just keep on everything. I really do have a lot of fun stories about her. I just can't remember any of them at the moment. But she was always there, and, you know, that laugh, her laugh was just absolutely infectious. And every time she laughed, it didn't even matter what we were laughing about or if you didn't think it was funny. Because you just started laughing. As soon as she thought something was funny, everybody thought it was funny because she really was a funny person. And she was just so easygoing, and, you know, everything, we'd be like, I'm kind of an over-anxious person, and I'd be like, oh my God, Sue, you know, blah, blah. She's like, girl, don't you worry about it. And I'm like, don't worry about it, but, you know, life is flowing for it. She's like, everything will be okay. And then she'd start laughing, and you're like, right, everything is going to be okay, no problem. So, you know, every time she laughed, it didn't even matter what we were laughing about or if you didn't think it was funny. You just started laughing. As soon as she thought something was funny, everybody thought it was funny because she really was a funny person. And she was just so easygoing, and, you know, everything, we'd be like, I'm kind of an over-anxious person, and I'd be like, oh my God, Sue, you know, blah, blah, blah. She's like, girl, don't you worry about it. And I'm like, don't worry about it, but, you know, life is falling apart. She's like, everything will be okay. And then she'd start laughing, and you're like, right, everything is going to be okay, no problem. So, you know, I don't know, I'm looking at all these pictures of us, and I actually remember a lot of those times, which is kind of sad. We went to the pool with them, and we went to the beach with them, and, you know, there was actually a long period of time where we weren't involved with each other, and when we did finally get back together, it was literally like we didn't even skip a beat, you know. I was like, oh, you know, girl. So, you know, her memory will live on with us forever and ever and ever, and that laugh, I will never forget her laugh. Anyway, thank you.
No.
By the way, Sue taught me to love salmon. We hated the smoked salmon, and she could cook, so I hope we do her justice today.
Somebody's got to pick up some sound.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
I just want to say that normally birth and death brings people together or it brings them apart. And it's kind of sad, but I feel like my mom died and I'm going to reconnect our family again. So I'm very happy that our family's going to be closer, but I'm also saying at the same time that it took for my mom and for that to happen, but that's just the way life is, you know. Her legacy will live on through all of us, her kids, her mom, her brothers and sisters, and my son, and Charity's son, Hunter's son, and rest in peace, man.
They asked me yesterday if I was going to say a few words, and I told her I didn't want to, but I felt compelled, so I jotted a few things down. First, give an honor to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. On behalf of my family, we thank you all for paying your respects to my sister Suzanne and for all of your support and prayers. I grew up with Sue, Tasha, and Renee. I didn't get the chance to experience my full childhood with my two older sisters, Renee and Sue. My mother and my father divorced, and I believe when I was born. So my two sisters went with my mother, and me and Kasha, my youngest sister, stayed with my father. We didn't have any kind of church life or any church experiences growing up. My father never attended church. It wasn't until we were older and Sue and Renee came back around once they were grown and they introduced us to church, and particularly the Church of Jesus Christ. Suzanne played a major role in making sure that I was raised in church and give me love that I was lacking as a child. I could say throughout my life, Suzanne never hesitated to show her love and support for me when I faced some of my most difficult times. I wish I could say that I did the same for her. She had many struggles and challenges, and it seemed the most difficult of those ones she constantly had to battle throughout her life. She had a lot of rocky times with the family, but we all know that Sue loved her family. She loved us, and she did so genuinely. None of us know the true relationship none of us know the true relationships that others have with God. Only you and God know that. I hope that Sue was able to make peace with God, and now she's gone off to be with Him. Family, I looked up the word family in the dictionary, and it simply said, family is a social unit consisting of parents and children. That's it. That definition didn't mention at all the word love. So what is the purpose of family? If it's to be a unit who loves and supports one another, not just in word, but by action, then we have behaved as a family only by definition, and not by the true meaning of the word. How often do we tell one another that I love you? How often have our actions displayed the words, I love you? How many times can we say we saw a family member in need and was the first to offer help without any hesitation? How many times did Suzanne hear the words, I love you, from her family? I would like to take this opportunity to ask God to help us to be a better family. I'm asking God to help me to be a better man, a better leader, and a better example to my family. I would like to ask God to bring unity among us, and please bring love into our hearts so we can love each other as He intended us to do so. I hope and pray that the anger that has been with us for so many years and the division among us can be eliminated. And we can go on treating each other as family. Andrew, Michelle, Danielle, Rosalind, I would like you to know that you are not alone, that you always have God, and you always have your family, and you will always have me. I know I haven't been there for you like I should in the past, but I will do better to make sure that I'm there for you going forward. What good is a family if we are just individuals who share the same last name or same bloodline? If there is no unity among us, then we are just merely relatives, and we will never be a real family. So again, I would like to ask God for help, to help us, teach us, that this day going forward we will learn how to behave as a true family, not by the definition of the word, but by its true meaning and purpose. I believe that God will speak to our hearts, not only as a family, but on an individual level. I pray that we will heed to His direction, that we will not turn away from it, but we will embrace it. Thank you.
God, hold your right hand. It is I who say to you, fear not, I will help you. Surely He hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. As one whom his mother comforted, so will I comfort you. I have loved you with an everlasting love. Therefore I have continued my faithfulness to you. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. And call upon me in the day of your trouble. I will deliver you, and you shall glorify me. Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and He shall sustain thee. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Our help is in the name of the Lord, who made heaven and earth. Isaiah 41:10, 41:13, 53:4, 66:13, Jeremiah 31:3, Psalm 46:1, 50:15, 55:22, 147:3, 124:8.
At this moment, I would like everyone to bow their heads in prayer.
Help us through this time. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my victorious right hand. For I, the Lord your God, hold your right hand. It is I who say to you, fear not, I will help you. Surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. As one whom his mother comforted, so will I comfort you. I have loved you with an everlasting love. Therefore I have continued my faithfulness to you. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. And call upon me in the day of your trouble. I will deliver you, and you shall glorify me. Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain you. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Our help is in the name of the Lord, who made heaven and earth. Isaiah 41:10, 41:13, 53:4, 66:13, Jeremiah 31:3, Psalm 46:1, 50:18, 55:22, 147:3, 124:8.
I'm quick before, so bear with me. And I'm trying to change the tone here a little bit. Mom had a very strange sense of humor. Everybody knew her, knows her. I can say that because I share the very same. We could spend hours driving. She would spend hours driving around, waiting for people to come across the crosswalk. And then when he hit the middle of the car, she'd honk the horn at him. I thought it was the most hilarious thing in the world. Or just driving around just harassing people for no given reason. To this day, I mean, it's when I was little, so to this day I still do the same thing. So, when she'd come over my house, I have an Xbox, and go online, play online, and she would go online and just harass the people around the world. Mom wasn't your average mom. I remember a couple of New Years ago, she was going to party with us, with the kids. Daniel, you was here last time. As everybody's laid out on the floor, she'll see right next to the kids. It's not very common to see moms will go out and party with their children, but she was definitely exciting and a person to be around. There's never a dull moment, just like a couple people said. I'd like to thank everybody for coming. I didn't expect so much of a turnout. Thank everybody for being here, and everybody have a great day. I don't know.
All right, we're going to close out. I don't want the family to leave right after. We want to take pictures because we haven't seen you in forever. And so we want to take pictures and make sure we commit. Every year, Memorial Weekend is going to be family reunion in D.C. right here. We're going to make it happen. It's in the program. When I came to the end of the road and the sun had set for me, I want no rights in a gloom-filled room. Why cry for a soul set free? I've been in pain much too long, and I no longer want to be sad. As we gather together with family and friends, remember the good, not the bad. I tried to be a good mother and friend, but sometimes things didn't go right. I made some mistakes, said some bad things, but please put that out of sight. We may not have parted in best of terms, but don't let that fret you now. Please forgive me for all the pain I have caused. I just didn't know how. God has a purpose, a challenge for you, starting.
Hello, everyone. I just want to say that. And they do take a good job, young. But I just love my mom because she gave me so much love and affection as a child. And that's the reason why I'm the person that I am today. I'm going to miss my mom's realness. And she tell you straight up how she feels, regardless if you like it or not. And I know she's not going to suffer no more. I know she gonna be in peace. She gonna rest in peace. I just didn't want her to go so soon.
This is a joyous occasion. I think I've known Sue the longest since I'm her sister. We were introduced when she was 15 months. We were inseparable pretty much as we were kids. I have so many stories. I'm going to try to just give y'all just a few of the funny ones. I don't know if you knew Sue, but she had a knack for turning words around. She would say things like scrimps instead of shrimp. She would say, and we get this from our dad because he does it too. We found out the more we grew up, the more we found out we were more like our parents. Then she would call Mercedes Mercedes. And our favorite one was she had this blue station wagon. She would call it the station wagon. Oh no, there's one more famous one. Police officers were known as, help me.
Ossifer.
Ossifers.
Ossifer.
We were taking a Junior. So first thing Sue did, look at the baby, boy child, so his name is Junior. Well, she shortened it. Yeah, not Junior, it is Junie. So Michelle called me one day. She said, Auntie Renee, Jay won't answer to his name. He will only answer to Junie. I said, baby, I don't know anybody who doesn't know their real name. He'll pick it up later. And now he answers to Jay, but in our heart, he will always be known as Junie. If anybody else wants to come up.
It took her 4 days.
As I look back over the years spent with Sue, I find myself thinking about the things that we did together and time spent. When Sue was a little girl, she and Renee spent a lot of time with Tara and Pierre. When their mother Wasi was here, we did a lot together. Took the girls to the zoo and did all the evenings. We had many good times. When Tara and Pierre moved back to New Jersey, I took Sue and Renee there to visit. They were our second family. As Sue got older, she and Renee participated in many school activities, and one of them was gymnastics. It became a backyard pastime. Sue was very helpful with many family events. She had a sense of humor. She was funny and would have young speeches. When Drew was born, we went to the water park and had a good time. Sue was a good mother and home. When I was off the road, I stayed with her and Brian on weekends. And I watched her care for her children. She did all the things a mother would do, and then some. She liked to cook, and she was a good one, just like Aunt Betty. She made sure your belly was full before you left. Sue was a very kind, loving, and caring person, and I loved her so much. Even with our differences, we would pick up the pieces and move them. She made efforts to further her education. She wanted to go to nursing school, but in the middle of it all, she felt like a suicide. Many efforts were made to get up and try again. We spent a lot of time together, and I helped her the best that I could. One day she called and asked me to take her to the store. I said I would. We spent the day together Monday past. And I didn't know what was out there. Sue was doing really good. It was a good day. A very special day. We did a lot of in-depth talking and making amends. I told her, hold on to your socks, Sue. Everything will be okay. Next day, she sent me a text message, and that was the last. I never thought for a minute, but you never know. Sue will be in my heart forever. I am thanking my family for being here